Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Geek First Thought Bubbles. I'm Travis Snail. I'm talking about the very uplifting, the very upbeat, the very fun Manchester by the Sea. And I said all those because this movie is the complete opposite of that. I'm going to be doing non-spoilers. Non-spoilers. I don't want to spoil anything. I think this movie you should definitely watch. I really enjoyed it. This was another movie so far, and it's a spoiler for my next review, Silence, coming up. But so far, there's only been one movie out of the Oscar contention that I've watched and been like, there's not been a movie so far I've watched that was bad, but there was one that I watched I don't know. And truthfully, that's Hell or High Water. I'm sorry, I really like it. I know lots of people love it, but I think there's a better version, and it's called No Country for Old Men. So, but that was the only one where I watched it. I was a little disappointed maybe because of hype, but this was another one too that lots of hype, and lots of these have them, but for different reasons, you know. The biggest reason was Casey Affleck. I like Casey Affleck and stuff he's been in. I heard that he did a great job, and I thought, oh, that potentially could be true because he's always had like inklings of a huge great performance, and it's not a good movie, but I think The Killer Inside Me or something, The Killer Inside he did with Jessica Alba a long time ago, and I think Kate Hudson. I really enjoyed that, and he really impressed me. The movie was alright, but he really impressed me. So lots of praise about Casey Affleck. Even though I liked him, I just didn't. I saw inklings of it, but I don't know if I ever saw. I guess I'll take this route. I thought he could do a great performance. I never thought he could do the Oscar I'm the best actor of the year performance. And it's something that I might look at in February, because we did last year, Lee and myself. It might just be myself. We'll see. I might try and get a guest. But we did the look at every Academy Award from, I think it was like 1995 to now, and if we agree with it or not. And I might do that with actors, and that's where I'm leading to the conversation of, with Best Actors, I found that it's very 50-50 for me, probably even 40-60 as far as me agreeing, more the recent years, because I feel like there's years where they get it 100%. For me, it's not even, it's a bias thing, but there's years that they get 100%. I'm like, oh, I understand 100% why this person won it, great performance, blah, blah, blah. And then there's years where it's a head scratcher, you know, and I don't understand. And it's like, I understand to a point, because I'm like, okay, I see why, and I see what people say, but it's like, this is a much better performance. So the most one that comes out for me is Eddie Redmayne and Michael Keaton. That was fucking Michael Keaton's Oscar all day. 10 out of 10 times, but really I guess 9 out of 10 because he got it. And that was a head scratcher one. What was it a couple of years ago? Even last year, to be honest, Leo. And that's not to say he shouldn't have won. It was a great performance, but I still think, and I'm a little biased, but I think Fassbender actually did a better job because he showed emotion and a different character range and went through different stages in the movie, and I thought he did a great job. I thought Leo should have won it. Oh, what was it for, Oh, that's the one, and people might not like this too, Sam McConaughey. Great job in Dallas Buyers Club, but I would have given it to Leo for Wolf of Wall Street, or I would have gave it to Chiwetel Ejiofor. So I've always had a history of, this is going to be the best actor of the year, and I'm like, whenever I hear that, it's very 50-50, because there's sometimes I agree with 100%, there's sometimes I'm like, no, I don't understand. Like, there's these performances I think are a lot better, or there's different reasons why they should win. So I heard that a lot, so I was already a little worried going into this movie, and I love Ryan Gosling, and I really want him to win, so I was like, okay, you're going to have to do a lot to change my mind. I can't say he changed my mind, but he certainly made me okay with winning. In that sense, I know it kind of sounds like an underplaying, but it's a thing of, it is such a good and powerful performance, and I guess that's where I'll start there, is with the acting. Casey Affleck does destroy it. I want Gosling to win, because as I said with La La Land, I liked the combination. He kind of had like a combination of Drive and Crazy Stupid Love put together, and I think without him, Emma Stone isn't as good, and without her, he isn't as good, you know? It's just like kind of great marriage of the two roles. But if he loses to Affleck, which it sounds like he's gonna, I'm 100% okay with it. I understand why. It's a really strong performance. It's very powerful, and I thought he could do something great, like I said earlier, but I don't know if something like this powerful and this great and this subtle, and that's one of the best things. It's very subtle. It's not as good, but it reminds me Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. It's very subtle. It's almost that like calm before the storm sort of thing. Like, he is subtle and quiet, but he doesn't like, and he doesn't have to like Al Pacino, like, yeah, and that's fine if an actor does that, but he does the role so well with using the skills he has and not having to chew the scenery or be over the top or take away from other people. And that's when some of the people, and that's why I like Fassbender when I talked a couple of years ago, is that like he never took away. You got to find this right balance. And there are people like, I always think kind of the supporting actor and actress to me are kind of those like the steal the movie role when the lead actors kind of like to, lead everyone forward and to kind of lead the team, hence lead actor, actress. So I was going in, had a lot of reservations, but I really enjoyed him. I really enjoyed the movie overall. It is, yes, everything you've heard about it, it is depressing. It is very sad, and it does it in a very realistic, great way. It's not artificial sadness, I'd say, when you watch a lot of Oscar movies, and sometimes, they're hitting you like, this is really sad and emotional, but sometimes they don't really fully go to like as deep or dark as they can. This movie goes there. It goes there and then some. This movie, I cried a couple times. It's very strong. And it is the acting. It's one of these that the writing's good, but the acting's not there. It's very much like Moonlight. It doesn't follow through. Like, it does not hold up as being that good. Not that good, but not as good as it is on the screen. So he is great. I think he will win the Oscar. So if you like movies that are kind of just more character studies and about people, and it's very realistic, it's very grounded, like I said, and if you like great acting and performances, I think you really enjoy this. It is slower, so it's one of these movies, if you're not a big slow person fan, or if you're not into kind of family drama or whatnot, or if you don't want to cry, don't watch this movie. So that's the thing where it's like, I understand some people that they may not like this type of movie, I think you couldn't go and be like, that movie looks bad or looks dumb. I think you should try and see it, but I understand you watching and be like, you know what, not for me. I had that in the comments of La La Land. Someone said, like, you know what, I tried it, I got 15 minutes in, wasn't for me. And I said, oh, try it again on Netflix, but, like, I understand. Like, movies are different for everybody. So I think this movie is not a movie that I'd recommend for everybody, but if you like those type of movies, and if you like kind of movies that I've already reviewed in the Oscar realm, this is easily a must-watch. One of the best, it would be in my top 10 for 2016. That's why I'm so mad we did our top 10, because there's so many I put in there, but that's great. Michelle Williams, very surprised. Surprised to the fact of, I've heard so much great things. She is great in this movie. A minor spoiler, she's not in it too much. That's not even a spoiler on the character, just the way the story goes. It's just, she's not in it that much. The scenes she's in are great and powerful and wonderful and awesome. Like, very well done. She's one of the best actresses around. I know I've been saying that a lot, but this year has had a lot of good actresses really prove themselves. And she's always been someone that's good. She's somebody that is primed to win an Oscar. I'm not sure if it's this year, because that category is tough that she's in. But she is ready to win one, and it's just a question of when, in my opinion. So there's that, but she was in it a lot less than I thought. I need to look up what the fuck his name is, because I forgot about it. But while I was watching the movie, I'm like, I've not heard this guy praise at all. But while I'm talking about that, the other person that does a good job is, what the fuck is his name too? Kyle Chandler. He's just Mr. Solid. He's kind of like, not John Hamm, because John Hamm hasn't been enough movies. He's kind of like, it's funny enough, with Michael Shannon, Nocturnal Animals. Michael Shannon, any movie, I think I've called him like, he's always an MVP or just the solid. That's who Kyle Chandler is. Never bad performance. Never phones it in. He's always great. He's great in this movie. Leading to that, there's a kid. Who is his name? Oh, man. Boom. Lucas Hedges. Sorry. Lucas Hedges. I had not heard, and this is, I'm not going on to be like, oh, he's better than that, he's better than Williams, but I had not heard a fucking thing about him really this whole award season, and it was really a shame while I was watching it. I watched Manchester City by the day before the awards came out, so he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. That's awesome. I don't know if he'll win, but I'm kind of pulling for him. I'm kind of pulling for three people, like, Mahershala Ali's great, but I go watch a review. I think I was a little surprised by that. He's great on Michael Shannon. I'd love Michael Shannon to get an Oscar, but he's phenomenal. He plays the plot of Manchester by the Sea. This is just a full-on plot. It's not a spoiler. Is Kyle Chandler plays Casey Affleck's brother. He passes away and leaves his son, who's like about 16, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there, to Casey Affleck. And Casey Affleck is not a fan of this, you know, and there's multiple reasons, and that's what the movie's about, is why does he not want this kid in a way? And you get to learn that and learn some stuff about him and his family and everything like that. He's great. He's phenomenal, the kid. Like I said, Lucas Hedges. He does it really well, and it's the same thing as I talked about in my review for Split not too long ago about the girls doing a good job at playing their age. He does a great job of playing that age and playing someone believable, and it's definitely because, like, right now my sister's that age, so anytime I bump into her and her friends, I get to see whether it's a guy or a girl how they are at like the 16, 17 in this kind of generation, you know, and whether she's hanging out with them or we give them rides, and it's like I can see his performance fitting in this world. There's many times, and I've talked about this before, where kids do not play, or even younger actors do not play it right, and you're just like, this comes off as like a movie kid, or a movie teen, or a movie child, or son or daughter. He does it well, and he's my second favorite part of the movie, to be honest. Michelle Williams is great. I just didn't think she was in it enough. She's phenomenal, but he's at least tied. I'll give him tie with Williams, because Williams has some really great scenes, but he's so good. Him and the chemistry that him and Affleck have together, whether it's them having fun, whether it's more powerful, maybe some arguing scenes, maybe it's some emotional scenes, maybe it's just bonding scenes, he does it all well. So I don't know much about him. I'm going to actually look into more around award season, so I hope he pops up in more. I really liked him. Score was good. Like, it didn't... It stood on one scene which I need to watch again and see if I liked it or not. There's one scene where there was some dialogue going on. I'm like, I don't know if the score needs to be here, but it was pretty good. But it was kind of like Moonlight. Same thing with me. With Moonlight, I know lots of people love the score. I really like it, but for me, a score to be like, oh, one of the best parts of the movie, I have to have a tune in my head or humming it or just literally is on my phone. Because most times when like movies happen, if I really like the score, I go to iTunes immediately. Like I did that with Sing Street, I did that with La La Land, like immediately. And I know those are musicals, but even something like what else came out this year? To be honest, I haven't done it, but something like Silence has a great score and it's very cinematic, and it really flows with the scene well and stands out a bit. Where this just kind of feels like, and same with Moonlight, I always felt like kind of meshed, and that's why I always say it's a good score, but it doesn't stand out to the point where like, man, I really love this score. So good score, directing's good, writing's good, like the screenplay's solid. Trying to think any negatives. There's one scene that was built up by a lot of people that I think disappointed just because of length for me. So that is a casualty of not being like seeing a film before anyone else does or hearing about it all year. But there's this one scene, heard about it for past 6 months, got to that scene, I was like, really great scene, but I was expecting more. So that was kind of a bummer for me. The majority of the ending I liked. I left wanting a little bit more. There's a few more questions I wanted a little answered, and I couldn't really say anything because I don't want to spoiler anything. So for the ending for me was like an 8 out of 10 or like a 9 out of 10. Like it got everything and it was done really well and it was believable. But just a little more. But the chemistry with all the cast's good. The acting's good. The writing's solid. The directing's good. Score's good. Like I'll double back and say the screenplay and the acting's great. I'm giving this movie, I'm stuck between a 9 and 9.5, and I think I'm gonna go 9, and just because of two things, and I'll be honest, was because, and it's my enjoyment, the two things was because a few things with the ending, that one score thing I talked about, and that's just like a little point, but it's just like, I guess a negative, and it was that scene for me, because that scene kind of took the wind out of my sails, and that's 100% my enjoyment based off, like, it's not a movie making thing. I do these reviews of what I enjoy, and I said, like, there's like I can say, oh, it's very good and fantastic, but at the end of the day, like, I can give Deadpool 10 out of 10. I know this is a much better written and directed and acted film, but I gave Deadpool 10 out of 10 because of my enjoyment. I had no negatives for that. For what I wanted, no negatives. And this, I had a few. I will watch it again someday, but this will be, I think I would just honestly probably watch this again soon, just because of the lady. She'll want to watch some, and I'll probably watch them again with her, because I like seeing them more than once, because they go, oh, you know, that was different, or maybe, and that's the same thing with that score. So as of right now, 9, but other than, again, I probably won't watch it a lot. It's just because of the content. It's just not a movie that is that rewatchable, in the sense of, it's not that it's a bad movie. It's just very tough to get through and very emotional, and tough to get through in a good way, because they hit on all the emotions right, and they hit on all the strings right. They do everything right when it comes to that's what I said. Like, it was, I got sad, and it was, and they did it good. Like, they did a good job of getting me sad. It didn't feel like manufactured sad. It felt earned. They build up to things very well. It's a very well-paced movie. At one point, I was like, like, I don't know about this, and then there is kind of a shift in the story. I'm like, okay, I get why they're going there. Oh yeah, and there's one plot point too. Actually, that's why I'd say 9. That one thing I didn't really like, and I can't get into because it's spoilers, but it's just a certain subplot with the kid. And I was like, like, we were going somewhere, and it just kind of dropped. And I thought, okay, so a 9. Really enjoyed this movie. Great movie. Yeah, fantastic movie. Really strong. This 2016's been ending on a good way, and I know I'm in 2017 now, but now I'm seeing all these movies from the end of there. So I think he'll for sure win the Oscar. I want him or Gosling too. Either way, I'm happy. But thank you very much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments if you've seen this movie, if you like it, if you didn't like it. Yeah, I think next is going to be Silence. Check us out all over at geekverspodcast.com, where you can find all our links, whether it's here on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, the podcast version. Go to Patreon. You can get exclusive episodes and like early episodes of Spider-Man Retrospective and Dynamic Duo. The entire Geekverse Gauntlet is up there. Or sorry, no. The entire to round 4 is round 3. Round 3. Next round 4 is coming next month. But lots of matches up there. Check out Geekverse Gauntlet. It's lots of fun. I thank everyone for supporting that so far. Thank you very much for tuning in. Next time I'm reviewing Silence, and I promise you, I will not be boring.